All right. We're back in the lab, people. Right back in the lab. I went a whole day without producing any content. It felt like a whole week. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Hope you all are having a splendid Thursday. And the weather is nice. I'm off work. I always look forward to coming here and kicking back and spending some time with the Crusader family. A lot of stressful people at my job, and I always look forward to a stress-free environment. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me. As you all know, the Nuttery is through the roof. And completely through the roof. Shout out to Jonathan Payne, said his sidewalk is covered with dog excrement. Man. Shout out to Chef Mutt Meat, who gives some good advice, man. Says she put on shoe slips before entering the car. That is a good idea. Yeah, be careful about that. I should have talked more about that by now. Shout out to We Hate Dogs in the building. I see you, ABQ. People, we have to be real careful to not bring dog crap in our house. Now, I admit that slips my mind sometimes. I have to get in the habit of doing that. Especially if you're not a dog person. Those parasites, bacteria is very foreign to our bodies, or at least me. I'm very allergic to dog dander. Man, that's terrible. Let's hope Jonathan Payne has better days going forward. Don't want anybody bringing dog crap into their home. Great Pumpkin, shout out to you. Range Rider, Kittens, Satan, Lillian, wish you well. We are at Random Dog Nuttery 29. I'm looking forward to 100, 200. The way things are going now, it won't be long. I mean, the nuttery just does not stop. It's a real pandemic, people, that media is not paying attention to. They'll make a report. They'll do a report on a dog attack, but it's always like a real short report. But they don't have any real conversations. Like, this should be talked about on talk shows. There should be specials on radio stations and all of that stuff. There should be several podcasts. This internet era we live in, there are like no podcasts. There's not that many podcasts. We need major coverage. Major coverage, and people really need to make as much noise as possible about this domestic terrorism. And this is nothing short. Nothing short. It's the best example of domestic terrorism that I can think of. These worthless, good-for-nothing mutants. In their true nature, it is always the highlight of every story. And yet their propaganda is something the opposite, the complete opposite. Now, this story surfaced today, took place in the UK. And what I want you to pay attention to is not only the title, but the subtitle, the summary of the article. This is very deceptive. Horror, as man is mauled to death by, look at this, a pack of vicious dogs. Man is mauled to death by a pack of vicious dogs. before one is shot dead. Now look at the subtitle. Man mauled to death by pack of dogs in remote area of New Zealand. Okay. The 69-year-old was attacked and killed by 4 animals. See how odd that is? How totally out of place that is? Why not just use the word dogs exclusively? They swear not to do that. They really take an oath to not refer to dogs as dogs exclusively in these articles and in the news reports. That's undeniable at this point, and it's by design. Police who attended the scene were forced to shoot one of the dogs dead. Okay, sounds like a regular everyday type of article, right? But then look down here. A man has been brutally mauled to death by his own dogs. How about that? Now, reading the title, reading the summary, the subtitle, you would have never thought that he was mauled by his own dogs. I mean, this is proper crazy. Look at this. The Nuttery, full steam ahead, before authorities were forced to shoot one of the animals. Look at that. I mean, this is like clockwork. Before cops were forced to shoot one of the dogs dead, the 69-year-old was walking through his property in a remote area when he was set upon by his pets. Do y'all see how deceptive that is? This should have been in the headline. That's a crucial part of the story. The fact that they were his dog. Isn't it a totally different story when a person is mauled by a pack of stray dogs compared to when they're attacked by their own dogs? And the way they wrote this article, they project it as if there's no big difference. No, there's a huge difference. When you're the owner of the dogs, that's not supposed to happen. According to your logic, Pibbles is loving, incapable of attacking you of all people. There's no love like dog love. All this rhetoric that people put out about dogs' relationship with their owners, it's a big difference. A lot of people can try to argue dog attacks against strangers. All the instincts, you got too close, etc. But when a pack of mutts attack their owner, there's a huge problem there. That basically proves that dogs can't love. I mean, they're incapable of love if all of them joined in to attack their owner. You mean it? See, in a situation like that, it should be easier for at least one of the dogs to fight off the other dogs. Like, hey, what are you doing? You're attacking our master. You're attacking our food dispense. People, this is major. This is major. The man is the only provider of food for these dogs. They can make an excuse about one dog spazzing out and attacking their owner, which really, that doesn't make sense. But how on earth was he attacked by multiple dogs, his own dogs, 4 out of 6? This man was attacked by 4 of his own dogs. Not one of those dogs tried to fight off the other dogs. Now, what's the excuse, dog lovers? I think this story proves that dogs cannot love. None of you are loved by your dogs. It's impossible for them to love. These things act on instinct, and their instincts are abnormal, unnatural. What did they expect to accomplish by mutilating their only provider of food? Dogs are supposed to be so intelligent, right? Is that even remotely intelligent? Think about the depth of stupidity, dumbness, brainlessness that dogs have to possess to do that. Literally, nobody else is giving these dogs food on a daily basis. Think about that. And it's probably in a dog bowl. So it's packaged nice and neat on a daily basis. This man giving these dogs food. You ask dog lovers, the one person dogs would never attack is the owner. Oh, he might attack you, but he won't attack me. I think this is a very powerful story right here. And I think it really proves how worthless, dangerous, and a lot of other things these worthless mutants are. 4 of his 6 dogs attacked him. They became aggressive before attacking him. They attempted to restrain the dogs, but they continued to attack. One officer had to shoot it dead. In the process of trying to contain the dogs, look at this. Unfortunately, one was shot by police. Why is that unfortunate? Don't you mean luckily? These dogs were 4 dogs attacking a 70-year-old man. 4 dogs. And you say that it's unfortunate that you had to shoot one of them? What are you talking about? No. It's time to throw a party. Oh, you shot one and killed it? It's party time. Unfortunately. You got to be careful with these people. They are completely nuts. Completely nuts. And you know, I see this type of craziness come out in many of my coworkers. Had one incident today. You know, a lot of these people, they're just negative through and through. And there's nothing that they can't help themselves. You would think that there would be some dog lovers who would turn against this dog culture. That there would be some of them who snap out of it and become like us. Like, wait a minute, this is crazy. The dog is annoying, it stinks, costs too much money. This thing could attack me, my children, at any time. What am I doing? Let me take this dog to a shelter and let us never adopt and own another dog again. This never happens. Now, I'm sure there's some exceptions, some anomalies, but this brainwashery is powerful. It's powerful, and it gets a lot of these people killed. Crazy, crazy story. Now, I think I shared this on Twitter. I think I retweeted it. So check out that. It's kind of lengthy, but I thought that was crazy. Unfortunately, one was shot by police. Are you kidding? Thank goodness, cop. Good shot. Good aim, cop. You know, I take it nobody else was hit. There was no ricochet. Good shot. Man, oh man. I mean, just, it does not stop. Oh my goodness. How many of y'all ran across this article? This was, it surfaced today. So you probably haven't. And I left a comment on Twitter to the Northants Police. Okay, where is that? Northampton, excuse me. Northampton. Okay, it's Northampton, but the police is Northants Police. Okay. But this is what they tweeted. A dog attacked an 8-year-old child outside school. Child was outside her school. I think it was a girl. Incident happened between 4 and 5 on Monday, August 1st, when a dog ran up to an 8-year-old child who had fallen over and bit the child on the back of the head. I always think this is weird how they word this. Bit on the back of the head, causing an injury. You think? I could have safely assumed that. Okay. Sounds like, again, they're trying to soften the blow, trying to sugarcoat things, phrase it in a way where it doesn't sound as vicious. No. It's a dog that stabbed, just straight up stabbed an 8-year-old child. That's what it was. Now, what really disappointed me was what the police department tweeted. Said, we're appealing for witnesses after a dog bite incident in an alleyway between, what is that, Ingleboro Way and Hoping Hill Primary School in Northampton, which took place on Monday. What? They did not include that this was an 8-year-old child. The police department did not include this was an 8-year-old child. I really don't appreciate that. And I left a tweet on their profile pointing out that this was an 8-year-old child. Stuff like this really burns me up, man. It really does. Like, how is this even possible for so many people to campaign against, excuse me, against children and in defense of dogs? It's truly unbelievable. Now, you know how these dogs, they love to attack animals for no reason. Dogs are the only so-called animals that attack other animals for no reason. They're not hungry or nothing like that. It's not self-defense. I don't care what these people try to tell you. These things are not attacking in self-defense. They're not scared. They're not intimidated. Speaking of scared and intimidated, before I go to this video, let me show y'all something right here. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Please give me the strength to keep my composure during this live stream. Get through this without raising my blood pressure. Oh my goodness. I got to take a break from this already. How y'all doing today? Charles D. Curry, shout out to you, everybody. WS 90 Days. Gerard in the building. My goodness. All right, brace yourself, people. Another goofy, inhumane, savage article and incident. This was published just a few hours ago. Escaped dangerous dog had bitten officer and tried to attack a group of children. Now, I'll keep this story in mind, where they said, unfortunately, they had to shoot the dog. Where was that? Right here. Here's a dog in the process of stabbing a 70-year-old man. And here's oh, I'm sorry. I hate to have to do this. Oh, unfortunately, I had to shoot it. Keep this story close in mind as we go over this story. This mutt attacked an officer and tried to attack a group of children. Dangerous dog, which had been on the run since Monday, previously bitten a police officer and tried to attack a group of children. They say they do not wish the dog any harm, but have a duty to protect the public. Can't make this up. You can't make this up, man. I mean, think about it. Do you think they say that about me? If I attack a police officer and then I try to attack a group of children, do you think they'd say that they don't wish me any harm? What about if I was in the process of stabbing a 70-year-old man and the cops shot me? Do you think they would put in the report that unfortunately they had to shoot me? No, it'd be like, thankfully the man was shot. Yeah, and thankfully these dogs are shot. This is glorious news when the dog is shot and the attack is neutralized immediately. Don't wish the dog any harm, have a duty to protect the public. Okay. After incidents in which the dog bit an experienced handler, okay, the dog bit its handler, and look how they included this, while unattended, okay, and while unattended, tried to attack a group of children. While unattended. What difference does that make? As if it's like they're trying to blame the owner or the handler. Oh, well, it tried to attack the kids because you lost control of it. You left it unattended. It's more deception. More deception, more propaganda. Officers say that, look at this, people. As I read this, I was burning hot. Officers say that because the dog is very scared, it could react aggressively. Boy, oh boy. Boy, boy, boy. These nutters, they truly know how to upset me and get me fired up. They really do. Very scared. Mutt don't sound scared to me. Don't sound scared at all. It sounds like a dog that's being dominant. Isn't that crazy? Dogs attack. They attack to exercise dominance. But yet every time they attack, these people say, oh, it was scared. No, it wasn't. That's exactly why it attacked. That narrative is powerful. Several of these people are sold on this idea that dogs attack because they're scared. Oh, he's just afraid, little Pibbles. He doesn't want to attack you. He doesn't really want to attack you. He's just trying to defend himself because he thinks that you're going to attack him. You're just walking down the sidewalk on the other side of the street, and this mutt allegedly thinks you're going to attack him. These excuses are ridiculous. Officers say that because the dog is very scared, it could react aggressively, but they stress they did not consider it to be dangerous simply because of its breed. Oh my goodness. Why? It should be illegal. To make statements like this, it should be you should be prosecuted. If you're a journalist, you're even a police officer, a person with authority, responsible for putting out reports, You shouldn't be allowed to say things like this. Do y'all think they'd say that about me? If I stabbed a police officer and then tried to stab a group of children, do y'all think that they would say that I attacked them because I'm scared? Do you think they would stress that they don't consider me to be dangerous? What do you mean? They said they don't consider it dangerous simply because of its breed. I do. It's a bully breed. It is more dangerous. How can you disagree with that? Do y'all notice these pit bull nutters? They're never like slightly reasonable. They don't confess to anything against pit bull. You would think that dog lovers would at least be able to say that, yeah, because it's a pit bull, it's more dangerous. But they won't even admit to that. That's when you know you're dealing with dishonest liars. Dishonest liars. And you can really throw everything they say out the window. We got far too much information that informs us of how more dangerous bully breeds are than other dogs. Through and through, I don't need to repeat it. That is nonsense. Chief Inspector said this dog has been on the run for a few days now, and it is likely that he is very scared. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up, people. It's likely he is very scared, and therefore his reactions will be unpredictable. This dog is not reacting. It's being proactive. It's attacking people for no reason. That's not a reaction. This dog attacked a cop and tried to attack a group of children. How is this dog reacting? Nonsense like this, this is why these behaviorists, it's not with me personally. They won't dialogue with anybody who challenges them on these talking points, in my opinion. They know that as soon as anyone spends just a little bit of time giving this some thought and looking at it critically, they know their argument's going to get ripped to shreds. Shout out to ABQ Girl. Shout out to ABQ Girl, who has been a member of the channel for 8 months. Right? Big shout out to all the channel members. I finally got a gun. Oh, yeah. ABQ has a gun. That's excellent. Now I just have to take the class to get a concealed carry permit. Yes, please. And it really doesn't need to be said, and it's unfortunate if you ever have to use it. But if you ever have to use it, let's just hope that only the dog is hit by the bullet. I hope that with myself and anybody else trying to protect themselves from a dog attack. That's my worst nightmare. That's the only reason why I'm reluctant. Only reason why I really don't want to have to use my gun. But if I have to, I will. I mean, the bullet could ricochet and hit me. I'm taking a chance either way, and we shouldn't be put in those types of situations. That's simple as that. And shout out to somebody. My apologies, I missed the super chat. Shout out to somebody, whoever that was in the super chat. Big shout out to you. How about the Charles D. Curry? Sorry about that. Shout out to Charles D. Curry in the super chat. Yeah, I need to stay calm. I don't want to raise my blood. But these nutters, they're talented at raising blood pressures. Man, oh man. How many of y'all heard of that story that surfaced, I think yesterday, day before yesterday, of another dog attacking another horse? It's never ending. Now look, I haven't even watched this yet. Look at that article. That is ridiculous. All the stuff I had to highlight in this thing, that's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Propaganda galore. And let me switch screens here. Yes. Yet another month. I think it was more than one. Launched an attack on a horse. Why do dogs attack horses? There's no reasonable explanation. They're not going to eat the horse. Do they really view the horse as a threat? I don't think so. Dogs are just brainless and they attack just to attack. And they don't act anything like the natural animals of the earth. Now this quality is kind of janky, so bear with me. I'm going to watch this complete video for the first time live.
Wild moment and off-leash pit bull charges at a $100,000 horse minus as witnesses slam.
And yet again, it was a pit bull. It's almost always pit bulls. Pit bull lovers. You blame the media for pointing this out? Nikola Tesla made a real good comment. And I'm going to have to find that comment. I got to share some more comments on one of these videos where he talked about that, like the media is guilty for actually reporting that a pit bull attacked someone. Basically, there's no other way to see it. Okay, this might not be an actual video, but I do have a video.
The horrifying moment an off-leash pit bull attacked a $100,000 horse in front of shocked families
and it's
at
got
a Sydney
horrible
park.
quality.
Footage from Centennial
wait a
Park
minute,
in the
there is
city's
some
east on
footage here.
Saturday afternoon caught
Right,
the
I'm gonna
moment.
fast forward
The vicious
here a little
pet
bit.
locked onto the horse named Luna.
The owner
who
was
being
shaken
walked through a
up
trail.
while the pit bull's owner refused to provide details. Okay, no surprise there. That's
Ian,
routine.
The horse's owner
That's standard.
and several others attempted to fight off the aggressive
Leave
dog
the
as
scene.
the animal repeatedly
Refused to
bit
provide
at the legs of
details.
the much
Okay, here we go. Let's get some sound here. Do we have sound? Right, let's get this party started here.
larger creature. The attack was caught on camera by local resident Shannon Bishop, who described the incident as awful. I saw the horse rear up on its hind legs and thought ***T what's going on there. She told Daily Mail Australia.
Yes.
Then I saw the dog. I was absolutely shocked at how aggressive the dog was. I could see it trying to snap at the underbelly of the horse. It was also snapping at the legs. The pit bull repeatedly runs back and forth, attempting to dodge the Good Samaritans, trying to block it from taking more chunks out of horse's hind legs. Luna eventually...
See? That's pit bull behavior. Y'all know what that is, dog lovers? That's the dog's character. Is that the word I'm looking for? No. Personality. What do they say? That the breed doesn't predict the dog's personality? This dog, like all bully breeds, when they attack, especially horses, they attack repeatedly. People will push them away. They go right back. Attack, 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 attack. That's pit bull personality. That's for all you dog lovers, behaviorists, veterinarians, or whatever. All you people who say that breed doesn't determine the dog's personality. Well, what do you call that? That is part of the dog's personality. That's why they should be banned, driven into extinction.
Trying to block it from taking more chunks out of horse's hind legs. Luna eventually kicks the dog off him with a defensive swing that could have killed the animal. Eventually Ian grabs the dog by the collar and swings it away.
Had to slide in the word animal.
Eventually Ian grabs the dog from taking more chunks out of horse's hind legs. Luna eventually kicks the dog off him with a defensive swing that could have killed the animal.
People, why did they include that the horses kick, which is in self-defense? Why did they point out that it could have killed the dog? And then when they pointed that out, they had to refer to the dog then as animal. Propaganda through and through. This burns me up, man. Unfortunately, the horse failed to kick the vicious beast. Unfortunately, the horse failed to kick it and knock it out. It needed to be neutralized. You know, and it's too bad that the horse's hoof didn't work.
Trying to block it from taking more chunks out of horse's hind legs. Luna eventually kicks the dog off him with a defensive swing that could have killed the animal. Eventually Ian grabs the dog by the collar and swings it away before the animal's two owners scoop him up.
Oh, the animals, shut up. Now there's a short of this attack. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is it. It may not be, bear with me. Yeah, this is it. Oh. No. Yeah, that is, I think this is it. I think it is it, if I'm not mistaken. But who cares? This is the behavior I want to highlight here. Don't matter if it's horses. Just like you see dogs attack horses for no reason, they attack people for no reason. They attack baby. Have y'all thought about that? Think about all these livestock that dogs kill. They'll just go through and kill dozens. Do y'all think those dogs are provoked? I'm talking to the dog lovers. Can you seriously argue that these dogs are being provoked to attack livestock, horses, llamas, sheep, goats? Of course not. But somehow, miraculously, whenever the dogs attack humans, oh, then it's provoked. Oh, you just didn't see when it was provoked, or you were not aware of how you provoked it. This is their logic. Trust me, you did something. No dog attacks for no reason. They've literally said this. But you got examples like this all over the place where dogs attack livestock for no reason. There's no way they could argue that attacks like this is provoked by these animals. They can't argue that. Likewise, they cannot argue that dogs are provoked when they attack people. I'm saying people. For the most part, adults don't provoke dogs. The only thing they might do that would get them attacked after they try to do it is pet it. And even then, that's unprovoked. Y'all want to argue that petting a dog is a way of provoking it? Okay, well, then petting dogs should be illegal. And you can't regulate that, so dogs need to be banned. Simple as that. Simple as that, nutters. And, at least interact with me. All you behaviorists, veterinarians, at least debate me on one subject. Take your pick. That dogs always are provoked when they attack, that they never attack unprovoked, that's a single subject. I'm saying they're never provoked. Dogs are family, that they are good family pets. Dogs are animals. Dogs should be exterminated. If you disagree and you think it's so ridiculous of me to believe that they should be exterminated, then you should be able to dismantle that argument, like in an extreme fashion. dismantle it and make me sound like a lunatic. I'm putting myself out there. I'm recording videos live. I'm saying this stuff on the fly. I'm not writing this out. So I'm letting everything come out. You know, when you speak, when you talk and you're just freestyling, you're not thinking about it, then you're actually saying everything that's on your mind. And you mean y'all don't feel the courage to challenge me on anything? That's too bad. That's too bad. But I'm going to still keep my fingers crossed and look forward to the day somebody with credentials. I want somebody with credentials. I want you to have a degree. I'd like for you to work at a university somewhere, or,
and we were saying
have a practice. I hate to call it that. Practice. Because I want you to put your reputation on the line for dogs. Wow. Now, what is this? Oh, yeah. Mother and son attacked by their own dogs. Yet again, this is another story that surfaced, I think, yesterday. No, so I think it was 3 days ago. 3 or 4 days ago. Yet again.
And we were saying on top of breaking
news.
news.
Yet again, the loyal. Now, don't they always brag about how loyal dogs are? No loyalty supersedes the loyalty of a dog. You want to know true loyalty? Know a dog. That's their mantra. Yet when you check the news, you have stories like this just spilling all out over the place. Overflowing. Where's my sound here? Okay, let's check out this crazy story.
And we are saying on top of breaking news this morning, a mother and her son are critically injured after a dog attack in Philadelphia's Kensington neighborhood. Eyewitness News reporter Waukesha Bailey is live at the scene right now. Waukesha, what's the latest?
Yeah, good morning. Well, police tell us that it was a mother and son who were attacked by their own dog. And police also say that dog happens to be a pit bull. However,
just happens to be a pit bull. Just happens to be a pit bull. Do y'all really believe what these behaviorists say when they say that pit bull bans, breed-specific legislation? Do y'all believe them when they say that it does not make communities safer? Behaviorists, I want to debate you on that. I know many of you feel super confident that breed-specific legislation does not make communities safer. You're all over the internet, you're saying this. I disagree completely. I think that argument is ridiculous. Just on its face, it's ridiculous. How can you even fix your lips to make that argument? That banning pit bulls does not make a community safer. Why do you say that? The only reason that they say that, the only argument that they provide is, well, there's still the same number of dog bites in that state. That's the beginning and end of their argument. Well, when you check the actual number of dog bites, it's the same. And then when you say, well, how many were severe? How many deaths were they? How many reconstructive surgeries were required? And that is where the numbers really pale in comparison. There's no comparison. You virtually eliminate these horrific mutilations when you ban pit bulls. Not only that, I would argue that the number of attacks are reduced, because the vast majority of these attacks that are published are pit bulls. And you know, a lot of these nutters, they say, well, they don't attack they don't publish or report attacks from other dogs. Maybe it's because those attacks are extremely minor. The vast majority of those attacks may be the attacks that go unreported. You know, they say only 1 out of every 3 to 4 is actually reported. Perhaps the majority of those attacks are minor injuries. So if you're just talking about severe, serious mutilations, you're almost exclusively talking about pit bulls. They need to be banned.
That dog was agitated, according to police. Now we're still.
They said the dog was agitated. Can't make this up.
Was agitated, according to police, by their own dog, and police also say that dog happens to be a pit bull. However, that dog was agitated, according to police. Now we're still outside here at the home where this attack happened here on East Tioga Street, and as you can see, police officers are still monitoring the home. We have seen family going in and outside of this home. Now police also tell us that this happened just after 3 a.m. and the man who lives at this home got into a heated argument with his ex-girlfriend in the basement. The dog became agitated and attacked the man's mother by
Oh man, I know y'all caught that. BK Born in the building. Shout out to you. Danielle Reeves in the building. Lisa M. Good to see you. Agent 420. All right. Y'all heard that. I know y'all heard that. It's like clockwork, man.
Became agitated and attacked the man's mother.
So they try to protect the dog by saying that, well, the dog attacked someone who wasn't involved in the argument. Is that supposed to make sense? Is that supposed to be reasonable? Are we supposed to hear that and say, oh, it all makes sense now?
After 3 a.m. and the man who lives at this home got into a heated argument with his ex-girlfriend.
The owner of the home and his ex-girlfriend got in an argument.
In the basement. The dog became
agitated and attacked the man's mother.
And the dog attacked the man's mother. Someone who wasn't even involved. Yeah, you can't find a better example of brainlessness. Totally unstable. These things don't have even a drop of intelligence going on. Any amount of intelligence dogs display, I think most of that is just the basic instincts that any organism can exhibit, especially when they're wired to be obsessed with food. That is pathetic.
Biting her multiple times.
Bit the mother multiple times? For what? She wasn't doing nothing. Why would you dare report that the dog was agitated? Why would you do that? Much start mauling the man's mother. Somebody sitting there minding her own business. Okay, look, nutters. If this is normal behavior for dogs, when two people in the home have an argument, if it's normal for dogs to start mauling somebody who has nothing to do with it, not even involved, then that creature is too dangerous. Are you kidding? Far too dangerous to have in society, and definitely far too dangerous to be treated like a family member. Are you out of your mind? You want to treat something like that as a family member? Not only that, you want to treat something like that as if it's the best friend of your kids? Leave your kids alone with these things? Wow.
Son tried to get control of the dog, and the dog in turn attacked him, biting him mostly on his arm.
Okay, then start attacking somebody else. Animal control. Y'all need to change this name all across the country. Y'all know full well these are not animal control units. They're all dog control units. We have a military for dogs. We have a military for dogs. That's how undeniable the threat of dogs are. No matter how much they praise dogs and call them man's best friend, your behavior tells the truth. What's your behavior? You've invented an army to detain and try to control these things. And really, this military arm, dog control, is really designed to catch dogs after the dogs have attacked people, for the most part. Because when you just report a dog that's roaming around the neighborhood off leash, most people don't care. A lot of these cops, they won't even come out there. A lot of times, animal control won't come out there. Many of them have said it. Like, yeah, nah, we get it. We're not going out there. So many reports I've gone over where people called the cops, called animal control. Nobody did nothing. These things, these dog control units, they are here for after someone has been attacked. That's how dangerous these things are.
Now, animal control removed the dog from the home, and the mother and son were transported to a nearby hospital.
And look at that. Look at their logo. Is that their logo? Yep. Yep. Can't make this up, people. Let me enlarge it. Philadelphia Animal Care and Control Team. And this is very telling. They have a pit bull smack dab in the middle of their logo. Why? Because that's what this is. This is a dog control unit.
And the mother and
dog attack response team.
Son were transported to a nearby hospital where they are both in critical condition. Now back out here.
And they're in critical condition. My goodness. My goodness, Rover, Pibbles, a harmless pooch, the good natures. Dogs are so loving. Wow.
Live, as you can see, police remain on scene right now. Now, we're also told that the son that lives at this home, he is going extensive surgery on his arm. Now, we're going to continue to keep you updated on this story as we learn more details.
Ugh. And a lot of these people, they cannot wait to own one of these things. Think of the mentality it takes to hear reports like this and then think to yourself that you can't wait to own one of your very own. You really got to be a sick individual. You must have some type of death wish. Is it all for likes and comments on Instagram, Twitter? Are people that desperate for attention? Unreal. This is Nuttery 3.0. Okay, where are we at? Man, like this stuff, it's almost draining. Like psychologically, my brain just feels drained dealing with this nonsense. Man. Yeah. It's dog patrol. It's dog control. Like, I've never even heard of animal control being required for any other animal. Do you, animal control unit that comes to pick up a deer, they're not even big enough to house. You look at the size of the little cages, compartments on these vehicles, they're specially made for dogs. They all know that. What would they look like going to pick up a cat or a rabbit? Yeah. Yeah, I pointed that out too, BK Born. I see cats all the time. I see them every day. We got a skunk that lives next to our building. Skunk don't bother nobody. Cats don't bother nobody. Nothing acts like dogs. Nothing. And it's dramatic. And dogs are the only creatures that they project as loving. They don't project no other animal as loving. Only dogs. Exact opposite of reality. I hate dogs. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see everybody in here for this 29th edition of Random Dog Nuttery. It's such a shame police use. Yeah, that's another good point, Agent 420. Police units, they use dogs as weapons. You cannot have something that's used as a weapon by law enforcement also be a great family pet. They can't be both. And they're not family. They're not family pets. They're nothing but weapons. You know, and these people just need to face the music. They're weapons. And they're really not even weapons. They're more dangerous than weapons. We have complete control over weapons. Be a knife, a gun. Whereas dogs not only have a mind of their own, it's a very unstable mind that has no judgment abilities. Dogs are the worst judges of character in the world. Every time they attack someone who's not a threat. How many women and children have they attacked in this 29th edition of Random Dog Nuttery? Now that I think about it. This dog tried to attack a whole group of children after it attacked a cop. This dog attacked an 8-year-old child. How many women and children? Now this man, 70 years old, same thing. Worst judges of character. You're going to attack the elderly? Those targets that are absolutely not a threat. Those are the dog's favorite targets. Now I can't remember what I saved this for. GoFundMe started for critically injured victim. Wayne was taking a stray dog out for a potty break. Okay, what? He was taking a stray dog out. What? He had a stray dog in his house? That's weird. Okay. Some man was taking a stray dog out for a potty. What the stray dog was doing in his home, I have no idea. And for unknown reasons, the dog attacked Wayne. Okay. Causing life-threatening injury. Okay. Another guy who was providing food and shelter attacked. Okay, since we're talking about judges of character, let's add this one to the list. What in the world? For unknown reasons. Oh, we don't know why. They never know. They never know. And when they do try to give a reason, like they did in that news report we just listened to, it's ridiculous. Oh, well, we have a reason finally. We finally have a reason why the dog attacked. It attacked the mother because her son and his ex-girl were arguing. It's always something zoinked out and ridiculous. Don't know the reason. GoFundMe fundraiser been organized by or for the victim. No, sir, no. You know, y'all don't get to be in possession of killers and then want people to help you when those things attack you. No, you don't deserve help. Why should we help pay your medical bills? When you brought it on you wanted to play Russian roulette. That was your decision. Pay for it yourself. Set up a GoFundMe. These people got some nerve. And this man was in ICU. And the police shot and killed the dog. Wayne was taking a stray dog out for a potty break, and for unknown reasons, the dog attacked Wayne. Well, well, well. I guess they're going to sweep that under the rug as well. What is this? Dog dies after attacking police and animal control officers. 2 stray dogs roaming near 6700 block Brooklyn Park were disrupting power company employees. Okay, so the dogs were harassing power company employees. Dog nutters. The loving creatures that y'all brag about so much. Where are they? How are these stories this possible? And these are all recent. I don't see nothing loving. Boy, you talk about the very opposite of loving. That is these creatures. You don't even have to know what I'm talking about. You don't even have to know that I'm talking about dogs. If you just hear these stories, you know full well whatever you're talking about is not loving. That is not man's best friend. Y'all can kill that lie. You nutters, we are on your bumper. We're on your bumper, and we're not going to let up. Because you're easy targets. Your lifestyle is unacceptable. Extremely unacceptable. On top of that, you're easy targets. I can't help myself. I hate seeing dogs. I hate hearing them. I hate the way they make the community smell. I hate everything about dogs. And on top of that, you mean the dog lover industry world is easy targets? That's why I'm making so much content, nutters. How can I not? And on top of that, I'm begging your experts, or any of you. I really don't want to talk to the average person, though. I want you to have some type of credentials. Because if I debunk you, if I make you look dumb, and that is what's going to happen, I want it to have value. I don't want it to be some average nutter off the street. Yeah? Come one, come all. Yeah, these are the best friends. These are our worst enemies. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not going over the top. Dogs are our worst enemies. And all these diseases popping up all over the place. I just recently read about this monkeypox thing. Look, I don't trust these dogs. Either these diseases and viruses are being made in a lab or they're coming from dogs. Simple as that. Humans are too close to the nastiest creature on this planet for me to overlook and not consider dogs as the source of at least the majority of these zoonotic diseases going around here. Unbelievable. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Satan, I've noticed that a lot of dogs behave the same as their owners. Like I pointed out the other day, it seems like when you get to know the owner of a pit bull, they seem very crazy. They're just, there's a screw loose, and it's like very loose. It's missing. It's not just loose. Because you have to be a little off to want one of these things to live in your home. How could you even relax? Every time it walks into the room, you don't know if this is your moment to die or not. Y'all actually enjoy company like that? Just as a friend, why would you enjoy company where you don't know when they might kill you? You can't communicate with them to find out if they're in a good mood, if they're agitated. You'll find out when and if it attacks. Why would you want company like that? Why would you want a friend like that? I mean, just dogs as friend. Man's best friend. Can you dog lovers at least debate me on that? You can't even argue how, and I want examples. Examples of how they're man's best friend. You are all invited. Unbelievable. Right? So how long have we been? This might be a short, random. Oh, we're over an hour already. My goodness. Yo, upstairs like yeah. They want their dog. Yeah, these people are a problem. And I notice, and I point it out all the time, how the root or a main motivation for these dog lovers is attention. So the real problem is in their upbringing. People owning dogs, especially pit bulls, the way that they do in this country, ultimately is a reflection of poor upbringing. And it just lets you know how dysfunctional our culture is. And I've said this over and over again. We need to revamp our culture and examine how we relate to each other. Family and friends. We need to revamp how we relate to each other. I was talking about this today at my job. It seems like nobody in management uses positive reinforcement. Instead, they talk to the workers like they're dogs. So I stepped up today and I said it loud. You know, one of the Gap leaders came over, giving the forklift drivers a hard time. I told him to calm down, and I told those drivers, I said, you're doing excellent work, gentlemen. You're doing a fine job. And you could see their face light up. That's when people want to work. That's when they feel comfortable about being there. That is when they do their best work. Because you don't have to talk to adults in an aggressive, condescending manner. If you're a supervisor, whatever, your job is to get the most production out of the workers as possible. Bashing them, being critical, screaming at, that's not the way to do it. But so many people are so impulsive. They're just like dogs. They don't think. They just act in an animalistic way. That's the part of our culture I think we need to reevaluate. We need to practice valuing ourselves, even if it feels foreign to you. You know, you might feel a little funny. I don't want to say thank you. I don't want to say hello. You know, even if you don't feel it, do it anyways. Do it anyways. I made it a point to be as interactive as possible on this channel as my way of trying to practice what I preach. Because that's obviously a big problem. It's a big part of this dog lover culture. I don't think dogs would exist if humans had better ways or means of interacting with each other. If humans had a different type of relationship with each other, I don't think dogs, they would be unwanted. I think those people would be a lot more like us. They wouldn't want to be nowhere near a worthless mutt. Right? Hopefully I'm around to see that day. Big shout out to everybody who's able to join me. Savannah Mullins, I see you in the building. Jamal Raha, shout out to you. parasitic mutant. I always like to point out that name. Hope you all like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.